And we're live. What's happening? Yo, yo, yo. What's happening? Who's the first one to join my live stream on this Wednesday? Oh, it's Luke. What's up, Ag Tech? Happy hump day, brother. Hey, Luke. How's it going, man? How are you, Ag Tech? How's your day going? How's your week going, I should say? My week is going pretty good. I worked all day long. What's happening, the average Johnson? Welcome to the chat. All is well. Just got done with dinner. My wife makes this upside. It's a deconstructed egg roll bowl, and so it's over rice, and it's made with like broccoli slaw and some other stuff. It's really good. Oh, and there's Mrs. Nuts. Hi, honey. Egg roll in a bowl. There you go. It's super good. Hey, so we just upgraded our internet to faster internet, like supposed to be like 4 times the speed. So let me know if you guys notice any glitching or anything like that. I have a hotspot I can set up real quick to get a better connection, but I'm trying it this way just to see what's happening. So checkmate in the house. What's up, man? Princess Jamie. Hi, Princess Jamie. How are you? Oh. So we normally don't work on things older than 96. And I might have it back. I have a 93 Jeep Cherokee and came in yesterday for door locks not working, grinding when turning hard left and all the way right left and all the way right, and an oil change. And it turns out the grinding was power steering winding, and then some door lock issues, and an inspection on it, right? Sway bar links and power steering pump gearbox, just things like that. Valve cover. It's like a 5.2 Jeep Cherokee, and service rider sold 14 hours on that thing, and then I had a 95 Saturn today, and sold some work on that. So yeah, so checkmate. I have to say, I heard that it was a weird Friday night. Um, I'm glad I was not on for anything like that. I don't know a whole lot about what was said, but I am, yeah, I'm just glad I wasn't around for all that craziness. Yeah, it was a 5.2. Kind of surprised, we don't see those very often, in a Jeep Cherokee for sure. Um, 4-cylinder all day long, but yeah. So, anyways, doing some work on it. Engine mounts are sitting on the engine's sitting on the top of the thing. What's up, John? John's in the house. Been buying some tools lately. Brian Eccleston. What's up, man? I have no idea what happened. I just heard that it just was awkward. I don't know. What's the 46RH, Jamie? I don't know those numbers. I only know engine sizes. I don't work on one manufacturer enough to know, like, if you talk about what's up, Fred's in the house. What's up, Durf? If you talk about like an old Toyota, okay, a 22R and a 22RE, isn't the RE is a manual and the 22R is automatic. But um, I don't really know a whole lot about, people talk about different engine numbers and all that stuff. Hey, it's a Jeep with a 4 liter or a 5.2, or it's a Chevy with a five. I mean, it's a Chrysler with a 5.7. That kind of thing. But yeah, I don't. So, anyways, let's not sit here and dwell on Friday night, because I don't really know what was said, and it's best to just leave things in the past and roll forward on it to another day. Oh, the transmission. Oh, I thought that's well, okay. I thought that seemed like a transmission number. Um, so Derv, how's it going, man? You're working at the jail, I think, right? Doing work at the jail. Hey, Murray's in the house. What's up, Bill Beckett? What's that? We got Nick Hildebridal. ETR Garage. What's up, man? Thank you, checkmate. Yep. So yeah, it's kind of crazy that I got a Country Mile Garage. What's up, man? I'm good. I worked all day today. I worked all day, and then Davion's in the house. It's been kind of weird, I work at a shop with a lot of guys, and so with the whole COVID thing, like we have work, like we have way more work than I did at my old shop, and it's like 5 minutes away. Um, However, we haven't been super busy where I've been able to stay busy every day, all day. Like that just hasn't happened. And today it was, got done with one car and then got onto another car, did an inspection, and then they sold some more work on the other one, and then sold some more work on the other one. And so I had multiple cars going. What's up, Occupant? Um, and and so it was nice because I had all these parts rolling in all over the place. And so I was able to just, like I pulled the Jeep in real quick and did the door lock actuator to make sure the power door locks work. Um, uh, and pulled the valve covers off, just trying to stay working. The Saturn is more prevalent, but I don't have parts for it. So anyways, kind of nice though, just having work and just being able to go to the next car and the next car and the next car. So hey Davion, thanks for stopping in, man, and stopping by. I appreciate that. Occupant Bill Beckett. So Ag Tech. Oh, hey, there's nothing wrong with that, Ag Tech. Um, and you know what, Ag Tech? That was one of the things that I was saying too. Was I mean, the other thing is it kind of matters on me personally. What system are you running? What kind of batteries do you have? And I mean, I personally don't want a million different kinds of companies and a ton of batteries and chargers and all that. But you know what? Hey, AgTech, I did the same thing. I battled back and forth, snap on Milwaukee, snap on Milwaukee, and I went snap on. But hey, I mean, I was seriously on the fence. The whole reason I bought a cordless ratchet in the first place was because of Diesel Tech Ron. And he used Milwaukee cordless ratchets all the time, a quarter and a 3/8, and he would take apart a 6 liter on top. And that was actually why I bought it. And so, I mean, obviously it worked good. He used it all the time. He used it in the videos. I almost bought one because of him. So anyways, that's good though, man. The long neck, man. That's just, oh man. Once you have that long neck ratchet, you hardly ever. I only use my short 3/8 when I'm doing something like, putting spark plugs back in or something, and I don't want to break something. This just has a lot of torque. So that's awesome though, Ed. Nothing like getting your first type of tool. So Country Mile Garage, what he's saying is he asked for advice, and I advised to get the Snap on. And I Justin and I were actually having a conversation about it. And I advised in the Snap on, and Justin recommended, I can't remember, he recommended to get the Matco something and Snap on other. And we were just BSing about our opinions about what to get and what we like. And honestly, AgTech, I really can't say anything about Milwaukee. I've never ever even pulled the trigger on a Milwaukee cordless ratchet ever. The only thing I do know for a fact is that the cordless impacts, they have problems because everybody has zip ties and electrical tape holding their batteries on. They rattle off, I guess. I don't know. I like I said, you guys heard me say many times before, I'm not going to go and invest that much money in a cordless impact because I don't work on things where I need a big giant, you know, I don't know how much those half-inch ones put out, but I don't need that. I have air for that kind of stuff. So there you go. John said it best. And see, there you go. Nothing wrong with that. One of my coworkers, when I was washing up, he held up a Milwaukee cordless ratchet. And he's like, "Oh, I just bought my first cordless ratchet." So I don't know what he bought. It was small. It wasn't a long neck or anything. It was like 170, whatever he got. There you go. Whatever makes you money and what you're comfortable with. Comfortable with and comfortable that you can afford. It's like, sure. I mean, we spend money on tools and stuff, but just because you want something, or um, just because you want something, or whatever, doesn't mean you can always get the best. I mean, hey, we all have families and everything else. So um, and I mean, hey, and you got to think about your tool bill and stuff like that. If I buy this, then my tool bill's hella high. I can't buy anything else. So let's see what Bill has to say here. Oh, nice, Bill. That's cool. I've never used a DeWalt anything like that either. Only DeWalt power tools. Back when I was in construction. Took a skid on the highway. Hey, there you go. Put its work in. Got a Milwaukee quarter long reach with a 3/8 anvil. So how does that work? Country Mile Garage, I have to ask. That seems like you're going to have less torque and bigger sockets. Is that so you can get 3/8 stuff in? Is that because the long quarter is smaller? Because I mean, my long quarter is, it's smaller than my 3/8, but you don't have the torque. So there you go, right there. See, Dirk uses Milwaukee. Nothing wrong with that. A lot of people use Milwaukee. I mean, obviously they're doing something right. I mean, they sell a lot of tools. I mean, you know what I mean? Um, so oh, okay. So here's a funny story. So I don't know how you guys are, but my wife and I, we don't ever really talk about tools, right? We just talk about like how much comes out every week, on the payment, whatever. And so one day we were sitting there and I was like, I had to, I said something about whatever. And I was like, oh yeah, somebody keeps borrowing my fuel pressure gauge set. That thing costs $500. I hate lending it out. Like, $500. I was like, kind of tripping out that something would cost $500. I was like, I have tools that cost more than 500. But it's just funny how, we don't really talk about that because we have, I mean, what is the biggest thing that saves us all is truck credit, right? Truck credit, you don't have interest. You make your payments and stuff like that, but you don't have interest and things like that. So I mean, you just have you're buying the tool and you pay it off, whenever you pay it off. And your dealer is, however he is. Some are like, oh, you bought $100, you owe me this much per week. Like my old guy, we had an agreement where I paid X amount of dollars per week. And, he just kept, every time he'd come around, and I mean, I told him I can't pay more than this per week, period. Like, it doesn't matter what I buy. I can only pay this much per week. And every week he would come around, and, oh yeah, check this out. Check this out. Okay, cool. Hey, no problem. Awesome. I'm paying my bill. I'm not going to skip out. You know what I mean? But, finally I was like, finally he stopped showing me tools. And I was like, that's a good idea. You keep showing me tools, and then you're like sad that I keep buying them. Stop showing them to me. So I don't know how much the Milwaukee stuff costs. How much was the long neck one? Tech. You said it was 3/8. I know my coworker got, it was like either a quarter or 3/8 small ratchet, and it was Steve Boyd. What's up, man? And he said it was 170, but then it came with I'm assuming it came naked because he didn't have a battery, and they said it was like a free upgrade to like I don't know, some sort of upgraded battery, but he didn't have it. And so luckily another coworker let him borrow a battery until he got it. Anthony Robles in the house. Hello, brother. Thanks for joining the chat. I appreciate you joining. That's right. That's right. And we all know about one mechanic. Dave is in the house. What's up, Dave? We all know that, you think about way back in the day, oh my God, Matco. I have so much stuff to warranty from Matco. I'm so not happy about that. We don't have a dealer right now. Sucks. Um, um, no, my guy. So Durf, my guy he was a salesman. I mean, he sold mechanical triages in the house. What's up, man? So my dealer sold. He was a salesman. I mean, he was one of those guys who some people would complain he was pushy, because he was always bringing in tools and always showing you the new stuff, right? And it's kind of like an inspection. If we do an inspection on a car, we show someone a picture of the leak or a video of the play and the steering or whatever, they're more apt to do it than if you just say, yeah, well, you got a leak and whatever, hey, I got this tool and yeah, it's pretty cool. But if you go here, check out this tool, you're more apt to buy it. You hold it in your hand, go, holy crap, oh damn, I like this, I'm gonna buy it. Just leave it right here. So it's and so with him, he was a salesman. I mean, he was constantly selling. It all depends on your dealer, Durf. I don't know how other dealers are. I mean, I've never really gotten too much into a ton of tools that only with one guy, but he was my driver for a long time, and so I bought a lot of tools from that guy. And then I had the hardest part about it was not buying tools for like a while because I had accumulated quite a bit of money I owed him, which is fine, paid my bill, but I couldn't buy anything. Every once in a while I would need something and I would just pay cash for it. So everybody's saying hello. So that's my hey, there's nothing wrong with Harbor Freight tools, man. You know what? And here's the thing. The tools still get the job done. Yeah, we have to, there's certain tools that you can't get, Harbor Freight, right? They just can't do it. They don't do it. And you're going to have to buy other stuff. But I mean, Harbor Freight stuff works. I have cheap Craftsman stuff at home and it works. It works just fine. It doesn't feel as good in my hands. It doesn't, obviously I'm not working flat rate at home. So, it's not a big deal, but I mean, hey, whatever worked for you. And that's all I got to say about that. Because there is no such thing as somebody can say, because I mean, you can look at me and go, and I don't really care what other people do, what they buy, what they, whatever. It's when it all comes down to it, like we're not in a pissing contest with tools, right? You do your job. If you need to borrow tools from me, whatever. If I need to borrow tools from you, whatever. I mean, that's kind of always the shot. I know there's that whole like if you borrow it 3 times, like I've never had that problem. Sometimes I've had to borrow something 4 or 5 times because I wasn't in a place to buy it, or it wasn't something I really wanted to buy, and someone else would borrow stuff for me, so it wasn't a big deal. But you could look at one guy and he has a big old fancy, super expensive toolbox, and I got one Matco box and one Harbor Freight box. I mean, it doesn't really matter what it looks like. I mean, can you do the job? Can you do the job that you say you can do and that you're hired to do? That's all that matters. So, and if you work for yourself, I'm pretty sure mechanical triage, you work for yourself, right? Aren't you? Do you? Are you mobile? I know you're mobile. Are you 100% mobile? Um, yeah. See right there, Princess Jamie. It's there's no financing. So, unless you go and buy a toolbox or unless you go on Snap on credit, but that's not a good thing. I don't stay away from the Snap on credit if you can. I don't know. There's nothing wrong with that, man. And tools cost. And it's funny. You spent three grand. You could have bought that in one tool or even two tools. Um, so small engines. What's up, man? How was your trip? Took a little trip for how long were you gone? Just a few days, I believe, right? Um, yeah, I same here, Steve. I use that thing all the time. I mean, that's probably that and my quarter long neck are probably well, they are the biggest. They are what I use the absolute most. I mean, yeah, you know what? And it's no problem, Durf. And it's one of those things to where, and then Durf, if you have any questions, man, you can message me on Instagram too. Um, it's oh yeah, it's one of those things that once you buy one, man, I couldn't stop. I bought one, and then it was like I only bought one. That's all I was going to buy, and then it just kept going and going and going. But hey, yeah, hit that thumbs up if you don't mind, or thumbs down. I don't care. Just react to my reactions in my live chat here. Let me know if you like it or you don't like it. Whatever, man. And you know what? If you guys ever have something you want to talk about on the live stream, you can message me on Instagram. I can't really do the whole the question thing. I tried to do that one day. I did it. I don't know, last week or the week before. I was in the car. My wife to bring me home from the doctor, and all that. I generally don't have that much time. It's taking me everything I can just to kind of stay busy. I mean, just to keep going and post little stories of, you know, trying to post little stories throughout the day of things that I'm working on. And then also filming stuff when I have the opportunity or, when it presents itself. So I'm doing the best I can with that. So, but feel free to send me a message or something you want to talk about. Um, okay. So mechanical triage. Yes, he works for himself 100%. Knowing you can do with the tools you have and not stepping in a job you're not equipped for is the key. And you know what? That's really, really important that you bring that up because I tell you what, and that goes into the shop world too. Um, The shop I work at now is a little bit different because they're like, if you came and said, hey, it's going to need this toolkit, do the job, they would say, okay, no problem. And they would just buy it. Like, it's not a big deal. We're going to do more of these. It's not a problem. But in the past, it was, where I was the foreman and things like that, you were supposed to look it up, right? So you have a BMW that needs a starter. And most guys would just say, it's got a bad starter, it needs a starter, and then there you go. And you're like, oh crap, it needs intake gaskets, and you got to replace the starter bolts and whatever. And then the intake boots leak, broken, and I have to take the intake off. So now it's not going to go back together, so all that kind of stuff. But you're supposed to look up jobs. What do you need to do this job? What does it take? Are we equipped? Are we not equipped? What do you have to buy? And are you willing to buy it? And then that's when you tell the shop, hey, this thing needs a valve job, but it's going to require this toolkit and it costs $400. Whatever. You let them decide if they want to buy it or not. But the shop I'm at now is a little bit different. They're like, you know what? It doesn't matter. Like we have just boxes and boxes of Euro timing tools and Fiat and all these crazy, all these tools. I've never seen so many European timing tools before. That's where I'm at right now. So I was looking through all the cases one day and I was just like, whoa, this is crazy. I haven't seen that, Jamie. I've been kind of busy. I haven't really had a chance to look. Now, that is something not to buy from Harbor Freight Mechanical Triage. Don't buy a ball joint press from Harbor Freight. They suck. I bought one. It crapped out. They warranted it for me. Luckily, they told me that it's not a warrantable item. They warranted it because I threw a fit. And then now the second one took a crap too. So now I'm going to have to break down and buy like a real one. There's nothing wrong with all that stuff right there. I'm not for working in the shop, Craftsman, I think I still have, I think my quarter drive sets are for standard are still Craftsman. But that's about it. Maybe one or two things here and there. I'm not a fan of Craftsman at work, but definitely Capri and Gear Wrench, and we can go on that whole list, So you don't like any power tools. So do you lose all air mechanical triage, or is it all just straight up hand tools? I know you have to use some sort of air. I know you do timing belts because I saw your videos, head jobs and timing belts. You got to have something to make that crank bolt loose. All right, a week in Ohio. Oh, nice. That's cool, man. Warner Richards, what's up, man? Welcome to the chat. So my back, it's funny that you ask. The doctor called me today to check up because I think it's been 2 weeks. Oh, it has been 2 weeks. So right after I got the epidural, I noticed they told me that what would happen is most likely around the 2 or 3 week mark, all of a sudden one day, whatever hurt really bad before, that pain would be gone. And so within a couple days, I thought I noticed a little bit of a change, slight relief, but not a ton, slight relief. Kind of went on. Seems like it's a little bit better. I have little issues here and there. And at the end of the phone call, I was sitting there and I was like, wait a minute. Rolling over in bed just is excruciating. It is so painful. I cry out. I wake up Mrs. Nuts all the time. There's been nights that she doesn't sleep because I would just roll back and forth and just cry out. Not cry, but kind of yell out because it hurts so bad. And that actually doesn't happen as bad. It hurts, but not as bad. So last night was a little rough, but for the most part, that is a lot better. And so I'm not at the point they said I would be where I would go and be able to exercise because that's the one that's going to fix my back. But thank you for asking, AgTech. I appreciate that. But I still get like my leg still goes to sleep and all that stuff. So, but anyways, all right. You know what? Snap ring pliers. I actually have a couple pairs of, I don't even know what. I have a inside and an outside, or whatever, in and out and it has the little pins that you put in there to change it out. Those suck. But I don't do enough snap rings to go and invest in a snap ring kit. But I thought about investing in a better pair of snap ring pliers with the different, size whatevers. But I don't know. I don't do snap rings very much. And when I do, I can usually use what I have and then get a screwdriver in there and pop them out. Yeah, yours. Were those in your video, Dave? Or are those new? I thought I saw something that you posted about snap ring pliers, but maybe I'm wrong. What tools are you talking about right now, Nick? If those tools are on back order and you cannot find those tools today. What are you referring to? I'm not sure. I have Snap-on and Matco. Yeah. Nipex, you can't go wrong. Yep. Harbor Freight, man. It's just too much. It's too much torque on there. Oh, nice. Tire changer. There you go. Sweet. OTC, and there's some other brands that make good stuff. I think is it Aries Tools? Is it Aries Tools that makes good suspension stuff? And there's nothing wrong with channel lock. What are you talking about, Durf? There is nothing wrong with channel lock, man. Channel lock makes good pliers too. I have no problem. I have no problem with channel lock. Yeah, the Knipex, yeah. Good night, Dave. Thanks for joining the chat, man. I appreciate you. All right, tire changer cost him 14 hundo. Oh, nice. Okay, ain't nothing wrong with that. Mechanical triage, you know what I mean? We all do what we do, and we all do what we do, and everybody is different in how they work and what they like, and and there's nothing wrong with that. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. So you know what? That makes me. I'm glad you said that because I saw a couple of your videos and I was wondering why you were, using the ratchet so much. So that makes sense. So you guys should go check out his channel. He has some really good content, and he did a really cool video where he put some stuff about me in one of his videos at the beginning. You guys should go check it out. He has a really cool channel, and he has some really good editing too. It was really cool. And I was like still younger, like I was still like not like on a well seated rooted channel, but way back when I didn't have a lot of videos. I just got a thing from YouTube saying I just hit 75 uploads, so pretty stoked about that. So. How's the quality? Anyone have any issues with my picture or quality or anything like that? Tooltopia. I used to buy tools from Tooltopia, and then I found. No, I used to buy tools from Tool Source, and then I found Tooltopia, and I bought some stuff from Tooltopia too. I buy more stuff from Amazon though. So check this out. So rethreading kits. The rethreading kit. I talked about it in my videos, I think. But anyways, it's in the red box. Always the same. Looks the same. All the pieces are the same color. No matter what brand is stamped on it, it doesn't matter. Actually, there's no brand stamped on it, but the sticker that's on the front. So somebody messaged me today asking me about a brand, and they were talking about Snap-on, and I was like, I wouldn't buy them from the truck. They're way too expensive, and you can get them warranted other places. And this was pretty interesting. So I always like to let people know when I find out things that you would want to know. So Lang Tools, I've heard of it. I don't think I own anything from Lang Tools, but I know that I might have something small. I know that they make rethreaders and things like that. They probably make them for Echo. But anyways, uh, and so I found so anyway, so he said, Lang, and I said, hey, just find out about the warranty. I mean, that's really all that matters. I wouldn't buy it from the truck. He came back and said it's only a 1-year warranty on those from Lang. So I told him not to buy them. Oh, you out of here, Occupant? Later, man. Have a good night. Thanks for joining the chat. I told him not to buy them because I know that there's other companies out there that aren't going to have a 1-year warranty on a rethreading kit. So. Okay. Oh, Occupant was saying goodbye to someone. I don't know. I missed. Oh, Derp is out of here. All right, man. Have a good night, dude. Thanks for joining the chat, brother. I appreciate it. And Mechanical Triage, thank you, man. Thank you for joining the chat. Appreciate it. All right, good. Awesome. Glad I'm having a good picture. So Anthony's is from Lang. Mine is Craftsman. Oh, Country Mile Garage is from Lang too. But it's weird that he says that the warranty is only for 1 year. So I have my Craftsman one, and I mean, I haven't had to warranty them yet. But I don't know how that'll go with how they're done at Lowe's now, and Lowe's is just weird that way. I think if you have Craftsman stuff now, you may have to write it off if it breaks, because I know Lowe's doesn't carry. I know like Lowe's and there's another store that carries like Craftsman, and they they might do something, but for the most part, there's not a whole lot. You're gonna get screwed with Craftsman tools. In the future. So I wouldn't buy Craftsman only because of that aspect right there. I'm like, hey, if I buy something, and I mean, I don't care if you buy it to use it at home. I mean, shit breaks at home too. So I mean, I was talking to somebody and they bought a gear wrench set, like a whole gear wrench set, and one socket broke like first time using it. It's like an 8mm. I think it might have been Justin. I can't remember, but it was just a fluke, So. But anyways, I want to tell you guys a funny story. So I've been battling with my internet for a while now. You guys know. So I go through this thing and I'm having problems. So I go to call AT&T about my internet to say, hey, it's too slow. Like, what's going on? Through this whole process, our phones are messed up. I can't use the phone. Excuse me. Big long process. And so while I'm talking to T-Mobile about my cell service because I can't get through, like I can't talk on the phone, I found out they have internet and their internet is a lot faster and it was cheaper. I was like, all right, cool. Send it to me. Let me try it out. So I got it, hooked it all up. Cool. I thought everything was good. Well, so then Mrs. Nuts goes upstairs, puts on Hulu. It doesn't work. Kids go in their room, put on Hulu. Doesn't work. I'm like, oh crap, the internet's messed up. So I call back, and I've probably spent 14 hours on the phone with T-Mobile in the past, like probably a month, maybe 12, but a lot, 12 hours probably total. Anyways, so I'm talking to him, and I'm like, hey, we're going through the thing, and so she's like, go check it. I go upstairs. I'm like, Hulu won't log in. And she's like, oh, sir, I'm so sorry. We don't have we don't have a negotiation with Hulu. And so we don't support Hulu right now. And I'm like, really? Like, how do you have internet but you don't support Hulu? Whatever. Okay, cancel it. I want everything canceled. I don't want it. So anyway, so then I call AT&T about the internet, and they're like, oh, you have 25 megabytes of download speed and like 6 megabytes of upload speed or something like that. Not a computer guy. And anyways, and so they run my test, and I'm at like 30 megabytes on the download speed. And I'm like, well, T-Mobile is at 100. What's going on? So she's telling me about her plans. And she gets like the third plan up, and she's like, oh, well, here's one for 100 megabytes per second with a 9 upload speed. It's the same price as what you're paying now. I'm like, are you serious? Like, I have 4 times the speed of internet for the same amount of money that I pay. I don't. So then there was the internet. The internet didn't work, and it was a big trying waiting for someone to come out. It was a big problem. Anyways, so I have 4 times the download speed, and then actually upload speed is so fast that last night, normally I go on my phone and I click upload on my video. I log in my laptop and I go to do my description and title and everything with the video while on my laptop. Before I even got it through, my son calls down from upstairs. Hey, Dad, why do you have a video called March 23rd, 2021? I'm like, oh, crap. I got done with the video. It uploaded so fast and then sent a notification out saying Nuts and Bolts with Tone has a video titled March whatever. And I'm like, dang it. Got it all fixed, but it still didn't stop all the notifications. So anyways, just a little funny story. You know what? Not really a story. I'm a California guy. It's I don't know. I like them, and I just wanted them somewhere a little bit different. I really hadn't seen a whole lot of people with them there, and yeah, I liked it because then it just kind of looks cool, kind of hide them, and then when you lift up your arms. So it hurt. That was not a fun spot to get tattoos, but so yeah, that's crazy. I'm gonna have to look up that. I know Snap-on and Mac, they're not consumables. Um, so yeah, true that. Yeah, mine's Craftsman, but I'm sure I could get I'm sure I could get something warranted. So um yeah, and then we end up having like all these problems with our cell phone. And we couldn't talk on the phone, and they kept telling me like, oh, restart your network, and having to relog in all my Wi-Fi stuff, and nothing would ever change. To the point where like I called the guy and I'm like, look, man, like I don't like to say stuff like this, but I'm like, look here. I'm a master automotive diagnostic technician. My mind thinks like, how does it work and why is it not working? And so I'm already telling him all these things that he didn't even know to even think about, to the point where I'm on the phone with him and I walk down the street so I could talk to him. This is the day that I was out with my shot a couple weeks ago. And I had a bunch of phone calls to make. I had to call the Bureau of California automotive repair, and I had like appointments to make for tests and a smog class. I have to schedule all this crap that I had to do, and I had to do it on the phone. And so I'm down at the park talking to the guy because I can't talk on the phone here. I'm on my son's cell phone because his had better service at that minute than mine did. I end up walking all the way down the street. I'm sitting at the park talking to the guy. It's kind of cutting in and out. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, wait a minute, I have an idea. I'm at the park right now. Why don't you call me on my cell phone? So he calls me on my cell phone and it worked just fine until I walked home and then I had bad service. And I'm like, see, I told you it's when you receive a call in the house. And, I said, this is how my mind works. Like, and they never could come up with it. And the thing that pissed me off was that guy told me, I'm going to put in a work ticket for the engineering department. And then I called when we got our internet upgraded. AT&T came out and said, "Hey, since you're upgrading your internet, you qualify for this deal here. We'll give you all you guys new phones, and it'll be this much money per month and whatever." And so I called T-Mobile the night before and said, "Hey, so this is the last chance here. What can you guys do?" And the lady's like, "Well, I could put a ticket into the engineering department." I'm like, "The guy already told me that you did that. And she's like, no, there's no ticket created. I'm like, okay, I'm done. So, anyways, yeah, a bunch of crap, man. So, yeah, Justin's funny. He's a funny guy. Well, thank you, Nick. I appreciate that. I never have surfed before. I skated for, oh my God, Nick, I skated for, my God, 20 years. Um, I was sponsored by a skate shop, and I was sponsored by a skate shop for a while. Went to a contest, won the contest, skating against the guys that rode for the shop. Got sponsored by that shop, rode for that shop for probably like a year and a half. And I would go out and skate all over the place. And whenever I would go skate, I would tell all the kids, hey, I skate for Planet Hardware. You guys should go check them out. And then the kids would come in with their parents and go, oh, I was skating with Tony at the skate park, and oh, I was skating with Tony at these stairs and skating with Tony over here, and then they would buy stuff, and then I would get a discount on everything. But the guys would never. The guys would never, like the guys that rode for the shop, they never wanted to skate. They never wanted to go out and film. And it was always frustrating. I would drive all the way out there and no one would ever be around. This is before cell phones. So you drive out there and then like no one's there and you're just like, well, I guess I'm stuck. And then a new shop opened up and I liked all the guys that rode for that shop. And so I went to ride for that shop and we all filmed together, made a video, produced it, big thing, had a big premiere. All the skaters from all the towns around were there watching. Man, best feeling ever right there. Anyways. Yeah, and you know what's crazy, Anthony, is we have a tower that's probably like 5 blocks from here. The T-Mobile tower is 5 blocks from here. And so it's just crazy. I don't know. It's just something, and it just happened like about 3 or 4 weeks ago. We've had T-Mobile for a year and a half. Never had a problem until now. So, anyway. I don't like to do that, man. I don't like to do that. I hate to do that. It's like going to it's like anytime I go somewhere, the time I will do that though, like is, I remember I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, like when you have to take your car to, when you have to take your car to the dealer or whatever, like Mrs. Nuts used to have a Isuzu Axiom and it had an extended warranty. And so we had to take it to Elk Grove Volkswagen was the only Isuzu place. And so I would take it in and say, hey, it's got a fuel pump code. It's been stalling. Fuel pump. It's covered under warranty. They would take care of it. And took it in one time, have the transmission replaced, like things that I had already kind of diagnosed. I took it in for something else. I took it in for something, or actually, Mrs. Nuts took it in for something, and they were like, "Oh yeah, it looks like you need lower ball joints and rear axle seal." So she comes home and gives me the paperwork, and I was like, so I called him. I said, "Hey, you guys just tried to sell my wife ball joints and axle seals." Yeah, well, that's covered under warranty. So when can I schedule that? Have you guys do that? But I don't really like to go in and and say like, "Oh, I'm a mechanic," but I will if I have to. Yeah, I don't know. I like the AT&T. Well, they told me that there's a 14-day return policy. So right now with AT&T, what we're doing here, I don't know if it's everywhere, but in California, we're getting so Samsung. Well, it's got to be AT&T because we're getting one iPhone, an iPhone 12, and 3 Samsung S21s, and we're not paying anything for them except for it was $3 for the 12, the iPhone 12. And actually, my son, he wants to upgrade to the 12 Pro Max, and so his is going to be like, I don't know, 10 or $11 extra a month for the phone for 20 months. The only key is if you do that with the new phones, then you have to stay with AT&T for 30 months, and you don't have to pay for the phones. But AT&T actually offers deals like T-Mobile. That's the funny thing. My in-laws were with AT&T. They were paying a lot of money, And so I told him, I told my father-in-law, hey, you guys should join T-Mobile. It's like super cheap, you know, unlimited everything, and it's one price, no problem. And oh, good night, Country Mile Garage. Thanks for checking out the chat, man. Um, and so he joined T-Mobile. And then during that time, our internet got all, I mean, our phone service got all screwed up. And so that when I talked to AT&T has the same plans, basically, almost exactly the same. Um, so so now we're and no contract or anything. You don't have any contract or anything. The only contract is obviously, you have the phones. Um, so anyways, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But we're supposed to get our phones, hopefully get them by Friday and hook them up Saturday, but I don't know. So anyways. Oh, nice. Oh yeah, that sucks. Well, the crazy thing is, Zach Tech, that we've been this close to the tower all this time. And it just all of a sudden. But what pissed me off was that they told me, like what in the first like couple phone calls, they were like, oh, you know what? There's modernization of the tower going on, and it'll be done in a week. And then 2 weeks later, nothing changed. I called in, and then that person was like, oh yeah, there's no completion date for that. I'm like, okay, so you're just blowing smoke in my ass. Not down for that. So yep, absolutely right there, Occupant. Most of the time, when you call somebody for the phone, the internet, the cable, the computer, 99% of the time, the person you talk to, they have a computer in front of you and they are going down a trouble tree, and that's all they're doing. Every once in a while, you will get that person that knows what the hell they're talking about, and you can tell. But most of the time, they are just reading down a list from the trouble tree, and you're not really getting any answers. And so it's very frustrating when you deal with that kind of stuff. Like, luckily, and you know what? Luckily, so every once in a while, I'll get the person that they'll have to do everything in order. But like the last time when I called the other night for the last chance to call, let me give them a shot, one more chance, right? It's like a shot. You bring your car in, and there's a problem, bring it back, give them the opportunity to fix it before you go somewhere else. But anyways, so I call in. I said, look, I've already done everything that you're going to have me do. I've already reset my network like 2 or 3 times. I've already powered off my phone. You guys have already tried to switch to a different tower. I've already done this and this and this and this and this. And she said, oh, well, yeah, you've done everything that I was going to have you do. I'm like, well, thank you for listening to me and not making me go through all this crap, because that pisses me off more than anything. When you know they're making you do something and it's a bunch of stupid shit that, you shouldn't be having to do. So, anyways, yes, Occupant, that absolutely drives me bananas. There's not a lot of, that goes back to like the whole, like, there's not a large population of good master diag techs. There really isn't. Because, you just, people just don't have that mindset. Not a lot of people do. And you have to have that mindset where you're trying to figure it out. Like, you're not reading from, oh, well, this is going on over, this is saying here, and all right. All right, moving on. Google Fi. I've been seeing all the all the commercials. You didn't miss much, Jamie. We were just talking about I was asking about my picture on my internet, and then I was talking about um, some of the troubles that I've been having with my internet and my phone and stuff like that. But it seems to be better. Got better internet, uh, way faster internet, I think. So far, seems good. So, It is. Absolutely. Absolutely is. All right. Let's see. How does one begin that journey at being better at diag? Necessary starting diag tools. Okay. All right. That is a good question. Okay. So, all right. So the first thing that you need to, well, okay. So Nick, what are you working on? Oh, it depends on the industry that you're working on. But let's say, oh, I miss. Oh, Big Puppy. Oh, thank you for checking us out from Australia, all the way from Australia. Thank you for joining the chat. I appreciate it. Appreciate it very much. Good to see you. Um, one of the well, one of the things that you have to have is you're going to have a good multimeter. You're going to have some good leads. You're going to have multiple different kinds of leads. I have so three really good sets of leads. Well, two, and then one is optional. One, you're going to want a bed of nails, which, if you look at my last video, I believe I have a link to the bed of nails, and I believe I have a link to the back probe leads. You're going to need you're going to need a set, because electrical is everything. I mean, there's electrical to everything. Mostly Harleys, SBs. What is an SB? I don't know what an SB is. SBS. So you're gonna need, and now working on that kind of stuff, I don't know. So I don't know anything about working on motorcycles, but I would imagine. I mean, do you guys need a multimeter to work on motorcycles? Well, it depends on how new. 'Cause I know new one. Oh, side by side. Yeah, I don't know anything about that stuff. I mean, I don't know. Being a diag tech and getting better at it it's hard, because it's it's not something that everybody can do, and it's a tough road to go down. It's very it takes a lot of time. You really have to understand. So to be a diag tech, you have to learn how things work. You have to learn how things work, how different systems operate. I don't know anything about motorcycles. Never worked on one ever. But to be a good diag tech, I mean, it's a mindset. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. It really is. You let me think about that. I'll have to come back on that. But I mean, tools. You're gonna. Well, Big Peppy, thank you very much for letting me entertain you on your lunch break. I appreciate that very much. Um, good YouTube channels to watch. Well, there's so Polly's Diag, I think, is one. Um, ask me on message me on Instagram, Nick, and I'll throw you some links of some people on YouTube. Off the top of my head, I'm having trouble. Honest to God, I haven't watched. I rarely watch any YouTube videos um, for anything personal. Like, most of it is watching my fellow YouTubers, um, and and then my stuff. I mean, it takes a lot. It's a lot of work to, you're coming up with ideas and editing, and all that stuff, and the thumbnails, and so. And then Mrs. Nuts created me an intro and an outro, but she did it on her Canva, and I have to figure out how to get it from her Canva and then bring it over to my computer, so that way I can put it in. That's a whole new realm for me. I am not a computer person. I can work with them, but, like, I still have trouble with Canva making a thumbnail. So yes, and that is one thing that will definitely happen, is the more you do it, the better you get at it. Um, a big thing A big thing would be to listen, watch videos, study, read about what you're working on, read about how things work, because like I so for me, like I know the principles of how most things work. And if I know how most things work, I can apply that to most vehicles, whether it be most manufacturers gas wise. Diesel's a whole different realm. Um, but I can take fuel trims, for example. I know how they work, and I know how they operate, and I know that around a 10% mark is where computers start to look at like I have a problem, right? They might not know a code for it, but they're starting to say I got a problem. And so I can apply that to almost every manufacturer. The only thing I have to figure out at that point is how are they looking at it? Some look at it in alpha, some look at it in in block, in the old stuff it was block, and some, different manufacturers use different types of fuel trims. But I know how it works and I know what it means. And so, little things like that. But you have to know how things work, or you have to be able to figure out how they work. The biggest key I'll give you is whenever you're working on something, you need to go to the description and operation of it and find out how that actual system works. You can't diagnose something if you don't know how it works. Because what is like, for example, hang on, I didn't mean to click that. For example, you're looking at a vehicle, and let's say it's the fan is not coming on, because I get this quite often. And a guy will say, a guy next to me will be like, "Hey, man, this thing's overheating and the fan's not coming on." Okay, well, what temperature does the fan come on at? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? If you don't know, then how can you say it's not coming on? Because you have to know when it's supposed to come on to know if it's coming on. Because you don't know if it's supposed to be, you don't know if it's being commanded on until it hits that threshold. So if the threshold is on my magic number is 221 degrees, and on average around 221 degrees, except for in newer vehicles where fans are duty cycled and all that crap. But anyways, for the most part, 221 degrees is my magic number, right? So I base that on the fans will turn on at least one fan will turn on around 221. Some cars are different. Like some cars, you turn the AC on, the fans turn on. Some cars, you turn the AC on, and the fans don't turn on when it's cold. So you have to understand how it works, and because you can go to it and go and look and back probe it and go, yep, see, there's no power. It must be the computer. Well, but how do you know it's supposed to be coming on? Because the coolant temp is 215 degrees. You think it's overheating, but it's at 215. Does it come on until 221? So that's just a very small example. Um, and that takes years of experience and years of working on a lot of different things. So uh, now, like, for me, like if there was like a carbureted vehicle, then I would just like set it on fire and walk away. So no, funny thing is that when you talk about diag, so I didn't work on cars growing up. I didn't work on cars with my dad or my grandpa or my uncle, or how a lot of people get into cars. Um, I I didn't do any of that. So when I went to school, I didn't know anything about cars, and everything had computers when I started. So if you give me a car that has no computer, it's just straight up all motor, all carburetor, and that thing will kick my ass more than a car that has 57 computers. I'll figure it out, but definitely not as easy as someone who's been working on cars for like 30 years, that worked on carburetors and points. I adjusted my share of points, but so all right, let's look at what Anthony Robles says, and I'm gonna, because I never even got past the multimeter part. Power probe, yes, a power probe, at least a 3. I don't know if you can buy anything less than a 3, but You don't need anything more than a Power Probe 3, Nick. Watch my videos. I tell you all about it. Later on down the road, especially if you're trying to learn diag, don't buy anything other than a 3 because they offer all these features that you don't want. Because then you're going to make you think that you can test all these things that you shouldn't be testing. A test light, absolutely. PVOM for sure. And this guy, for most motorcycle stuff aside, special gauges, and then you got to, like, Snap-on has Harley Davidson. You just have to have a connector. So, all right, Big Puppy is saying thanks to Mrs. Nuts. Roll on out. If I get sidetracked on a topic, I apologize. I try to stay with it and try to keep it going so I don't dwell on one thing too long. Knowledge is key. It is absolute key. It is so important. But also having the ability to be able to look up a vehicle and find things is also very difficult for some people. So, I mean, some people it's like trying to read a wiring diagram or, whatever. So there you go. Princess Jamie started on carburetors. Irrelevant by today. But it's adapting already good practices with new technology. It's how she had to approach troubleshooting, unless it's blatantly obvious. There you go. So carburetors just man, I'm glad we don't have to deal with those things anymore. Some vehicles report a misfire as lean and others rich. Just depends on what the computer is looking for as far as sensor data, and not knowing how sends you down the rabbit hole. Absolutely. And you also have to know that every manufacturer is different. And like if you're working on cars, you have to know that, then when you get into, fuel trims and misfires and things like that, then you have oxygen sensors, and then now we have air fuel sensors, and you can look at a car and not know it has an air fuel sensor and be looking at it and you're scoping it and you're like, oh wow, this thing has 2 volts. Oh my god, this oxygen sensor must have a big problem because it has 2 volts. But no, because it doesn't operate on less than 1 volt. So you got to understand what you're working on. I am a diagnostician. Chef Shade Tree Scott Dudgeon. Thank you for joining the chat, man. I appreciate you stepping in. I just don't work on them that often, Jamie. That's actually what it is. I know how to work on them, and I can figure it out. I've rebuilt a couple. Because I've done my fair share of carburetors and messed with my fair share of cars. I used to have a lot of failed smogs, so I had to mess with a lot of carburetors and crap like that. I just don't do it enough. It's kind of like if you give me, give me like a European car, give me something, and then I don't touch it for a while, and then I come back to it. I'm going to struggle with it a little bit because I'm not, super familiar with that platform. So, all right. So he has a Harbor Freight ball joint press and haven't heard it yet. That must be it. I mean, maybe, you know what? Maybe it's not supposed to work on hard ball joints. I don't know. I know how to use a ball joint press. I think I read the directions. I went online, watched the video. I got certified in how to use it, and it still broke. I'm just making a joke. But yeah, I mean, it's like between the rod with the threads, and then whatever. It's like it's cheap design. And I can tell you this, if you put extreme stress on it and you're trying to take out a ball joint that doesn't want to come out, it's gonna strip. It's gonna screw up. And I'm talking about a hard ball joint, one that doesn't want to come out. Or maybe it was just my luck with 2. I mean, hey, stuff happens. Honestly, the crazy thing is that I think that I have a hard time understanding how all these tools are the same color and the same size, the same shape, the same everything, and the same colored boxes, but yet there's such a big difference in price. And what is that? What is that difference? Is it really worth it? So, anyways, that's kind of I have a problem with that. Anthony Robles loves carburetors. Sorry, my man. Last night, 3 a.m. My so Mrs. Nutt, she sleeps ever since the kids have been ever since I've known her. She she sleeps almost like with one ear open. So if a mouse farted, she would wake up, right? And then she will wake me up. Oh my God, what was that? And then I'm like, I don't know, I don't hear anything. And so this happens all the time. But last night that happened. And my oldest son was in his room throwing up at 3 o'clock in the morning. So we could go in there and helping him, get it all washed up and cleaned up. And lucky I was able to go back to sleep for a couple hours and he was okay. But yeah. So little tired. Was up for a little bit last night. Definitely wasn't planning on that. So early EFI sucks. Are you kidding me? Early EFI is awful. Yeah, early EFI is absolutely awful. I hate early EFI. I hate early. All right, big puppy. Thank you so much for joining the chat and letting me entertain you for your lunch break. And have a good day at work. Big puppy is in Australia and is on Instagram. So check out that. Computer controlled carburetors suck even more. Those are the ones that are awful. Those things suck too. Uh, so I don't know. Yeah, you know what? And that's actually a really good point. A lot of guys don't know that. I will actually, when you're doing ball joints or anything that you're trying to break free, I don't care if it's a tie rod, it doesn't matter. A pitman arm, whatever. And you've got your tool on there and you're tightening it down, whatever. Hit that sumbitch with a hammer. If you got a ball joint and it's, let's say it's like around like this, and you've got your tool on the outside, man, gun that tool, stop, and hit it hard as crap around both sides, however many sides of it you can, trying to just jar that thing and break all that crap loose. If you get I mean, I actually don't use a pickle fork for tie rods or any of that stuff. I just hit with a big hammer and I can make it break loose. Usually takes me a couple of hits sometimes, but anyways, the same thing with ball joints. When you're doing that, man, hit it, and then gun it, and then hit it, and you'll notice that every time you gun it, it'll move a little bit. You hit it some more, and then gun it, and then it'll move. So funny story about hitting it with a hammer. One of my coworkers was doing ball joints on a probably a Dodge van, Ford van. I can't remember. It was all decorated up in pink and all this stuff. I don't remember what kind of company it was. But anyways, I don't remember what kind of vehicle it was. And so he's doing the front end on it, and he kicked his ass on the first side. Like, I mean, he spent a really long time. We got to the second side. I said something to him about hitting it with a hammer. And he came back and he was like, "Oh my God, that was so much easier. I wish I had known that on the other side." It came apart. I was like, "You already done?" Because the other side took him so long. So, anyways, hit it with a hammer, jar it, break it loose. Don't be afraid. Yep, it is actually, and a lot of them come with ball joints now. Well, a lot of vehicles now, you got to be careful because when you look them up, like take a early. I'm gonna guess around. Let's just guess around a 2003 Dodge Durango. Okay, take a 2003 Dodge Durango, and you got bad control arm bushings and bad ball joints. Okay, so the upper arm comes with a ball joint. No, anyways, whatever it is, if you look it up, it's got bad control arm bushings, but let's say the ball joint's okay. If you look it up, you Napa, O'Reilly, all the auto parts stores, they will sell you bushings for the control arm, but the control arm bushings are not serviceable. So you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful because a lot of places will say you can replace them. They have them, but they're not serviceable. So it is just better just to replace the arms. So, what is it? What a knuckle centric ball joint? What is that, Jamie? I don't know what that is. Oh, I do that too. But after I had one where I had to use it like probably like I don't know 4, 5, 6 times, and it just it crapped out. So not very happy in it. Not very happy with it. Anthony, what's your preference for soaking carbs in? Well, yeah, that's better than a. So, are you talking about TBI? Oh yeah, GM TBI. That's not that bad. It's that the computer system sucks. That's what I was talking about. The computer system sucks in early EFI. So Jamie does all that crap I don't know anything about. She's like going there and like modify stuff, and I don't do that stuff. Oh my god, never use a friggin' pickle fork, man. And you know what? I had something one day and it was stuck, and I couldn't get it loose. And I thought, you know what? All my friends they they use pickle forks. I'm gonna try it. I haven't used mine in a long time. That's what happened. It didn't work, and it got stuck, and I had to hit it with a big ass hammer. So you know what else I have? I have this metal pipe pole. I don't know. It is this thick, and it is probably about 16 inches long. And so what I'll use that for is that if I can't hit the idler arm or whatever it is with a hammer, then I will put that in there and I'll hit that. And usually I can aim that to where I want it to, and I can get it to pop loose. So oh, here we go. The new 2020 Ram 1500 have a polymer A arm. Wow, interesting. Not know that. Ball joints are pressed into the knuckles instead of the inner C of the axle housing. Huh, I can't picture that. My brain's not working there. Oh yeah, I've never done that before. But I don't know. I'm stuck now because now I've got that stupid thing that I mean I use it a lot of times. You know what else I bought? I bought the extra kit from Harbor Freight that has all the extra adapters for all the other stuff. Yeah, don't ever buy that. That's a bunch of crap. Oh, well, 360 Monk is in the house. Thank you for joining the chat, man. Thank you for checking it out. I appreciate it. Definitely. Oh, there you go. You know what I just discovered, like probably I don't know, a few weeks ago, is this it's like a S, and I mean, it's the drawing is gonna suck, but it's like a small and then it's big. And it's for putting on the lower control arms. And then you can put a pry bar, and you just hook the pry bar up to it and pop it out. OTC makes it's like $16 or something like that. What's up, 360 Month? Not much, man. Just hanging out. It's Wednesday night. Just having a little relax here. Just kicking back. 2 more days left in the week. just found out that so here in California, I don't know if it's everywhere, but they just made the rule that it's 3 foot distancing now. And so my middle kid was going to be going to middle school this year, and they did, you know, obviously it was home study or whatever because of the COVID stuff. And so when it came time to start to go back, there was an A and a B schedule. So Mondays are no school, and they have a little bit of work, but it's the teacher work day. And so they either would go Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, Friday. And so he was dying to go to school because he wanted to meet people. He wanted to meet skateboarders. All his friends ride scooters. And so he's been going to middle school for, I don't know, not super long, only 2 days a week. And they just sent an email saying April 13th, I think, they're going back to, it'll be Tuesday through Friday. They won't have an A B group anymore. So it'll be Tuesday through Friday. They only go half a day, but it'll still be in person all 4 days. Because what would happen is the kids would go to school Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but then the other half of the class were at home. And so they're on their computer watching the teacher. So the teacher's trying to talk to them and talk to the students at the same time. And then you would turn around and then those students would be at home. And it was just a mess. So anyways. Oh yeah. I definitely use the muscles. People call me over to break stuff loose. Yeah, that right there, the S tool, is that what it's called? I have it in my cart in Amazon. I went and find it. Power Stroke Jude, what's up, man? He is warming up, everyone, because he does a follow-up live stream after this, right? Are you going live tonight, dude? I believe he goes live after this, and sometimes that fool doesn't go to sleep. I will get up in the morning and it'll be like the live stream just ended. So sometimes they get on and they have so much fun that they don't stop. All right, my latest tool purchase. All right, so I have not bought tools in quite some time. My latest purchase was a rubber boot for my 3/8 cordless ratchet. No, but so I haven't bought a whole lot of tools lately. You know, COVID makes everything slow down, but I actually do have a tool purchase coming up, and I'm actually going to purchase. So I have a bunch of torque wrenches, but torquing wheels is a pain in the butt. In my old shop, they had a community torque wrench, a community split beam snap-on torque wrench, and it was on my box. So it was nice. Anytime I, took wheels off, just grab the torque wrench. You don't have to zero it. It's easy to read. Um, and so, anyways, so I'm getting ready to purchase a split beam torque wrench. I'm going to get a set of torque sticks from Harbor Freight, maybe, maybe not. And I got a few other things. I got to replace my stethoscope. I had my Lyle stethoscope hanging on my cart, and I went to use it one day, and one of the little rubber ear things was gone. And so I had to throw it in the trash. So anyway, so yeah, I got a couple things I'm going to be ordering. I'll share that with you guys. So and my brain's on brain fart mode too. All right, let's see. All right, you going to bed, checkmate? Thanks for checking out the stream. I appreciate it. The live stream here. I do this every Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. Try to get on here, hang out with everyone. Going through, I don't want to miss anything. What's still a good investment? I missed something. I don't know. So if Justin does not do a TGIF on Friday, Would you guys like me to do something? I'm just be for a couple hours, but I could do that when I get home from work if you guys would like. Because it sounds like he may not be doing his TGIF. But if you guys would like, I would. So the Lyle Anthony, the Lyle one is actually really cool. I bought mine on Amazon. It's a really good kit. I like it. So I had it already, and then obviously I had to throw a brand new one in the garbage. So Joey Preciado, what's up, man? Oh, the boot, yeah, the boot. Yeah, gotta have the boot, man. What's funny is like one broke, and I ordered it, and then I bought it, and as soon as I bought it, I realized, oh no, right before I bought it, I realized my other one was torn and almost broken. And so I had to pay for two. And I just got my second one today. Something else I bought, not super, is my latest purchase was so Mac. I bought a set of Mac. I bought a Mac pocket screwdriver and a Mac pocket pry bar, which I thought was a gimmick for a while. People were talking about them online. And I thought it was dumb and a gimmick, but it actually really is cool. And it's worth it. But anyways, my other one was my last one was what I did a post about the easy out type of thing from Mac. It's some left hand drill bits and something else. Yes, post CP tool. I can't go past him because man, otherwise I don't get to see Mrs. Nuts. When I get home, usually she's having a party with her mom and not a party, but just hanging out. Usually try to get on for a little bit. Yeah, Justin's got something going on with the Little Willie's Club and restoring a Jeep and yeah, he's got that 3-liter eco diesel. So I told him when he needs to do head gaskets on it, my very first YouTube video is about that engine. Because nobody had ever there was nobody making videos about that engine when I started. So all right, guys, I think I'm gonna end it here. I usually try to go till about 8, but I'm really tired. I want to sit here and just keep yawning your guys's oh, so sorry, guys. Don't mean to do that. But anyways, I appreciate everyone for joining the chat here and coming in and saying hi and participating and listening to me talk. If you guys don't mind, hit that like button or the dislike, whatever. I'll answer that question. So cheap impact. So I actually bought. So I have like a rail of Matco ones, but the Matco ones didn't go down to I think 10 millimeter, and I bought Cobalt. I have Cobalt. My smaller ones are my Cobalt. I know that Tecton, Capri, my brain. I'm just having all kinds of brain farts right now. There's all these different brands and everything that you can get, but I mean, I have Cobalt ones. That's what I have for my smaller ones. I wouldn't go buy Harbor Freight impact sockets. I know you need cheap. I mean, if you have to, go ahead, but I definitely wouldn't. I would recommend not getting impact Harbor Freight. Look into Capri, Tecton, Ulsa Tools. I don't know if they have impact. I haven't used any of their sockets. What else am I missing here? I feel like I can't think of a bunch of brands right now. Yeah, I don't know. I just me. I mean, you could get the you know what? Really, uh, Chris, it matters on your budget. I mean, if you can't afford to go out and get, I mean, that's what we talked about that earlier. Sunex, thank you, Matt. Oh my God, thank you so much. I just used some 1/2 inch impact wobbles today the other day doing brakes on a F350 7.3 and works super great. Actually, I'm going to rephrase that. Sunex would be my number one. Go look at Sunex, and yeah, yeah, that is definitely the brand to look at. So I have all of my everything that's not Matco is Sunex. Every single impact wobble I have is Sunex tools. So I like Sunex so much that I even made a video all about their impact wobble sockets and their warranty set, their warranty. So check that out. You could check it out. It'll tell you all about the warranty too, because the warranty there is fantastic. And from what I heard, Capri has the same warranty. So, anyways, I know. Thank you, Joey. That's actually the reason that I'm going to get off here because I'm tired and I'm just having all kinds of brain farts all of a sudden. So, anyways, thank you so much, guys, for check. Oh, here I got to say this. Yes, absolutely. That is the correct right there. Get a power stroke. That's what I would do. But yeah, so Chris, go look at Sunex tools, man. They have really, really, really good impact sockets and great warranties. So, anyways, thank you everyone for joining me. If Justin doesn't go on Friday, if you guys would like me to do a live, shoot me a message on Instagram. But you know, I'll probably go live if he doesn't, just to do something. But definitely not going until the wee hours of the morning. Let's see. Hang on. Hang on. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I don't know. I just me personally. I wouldn't. I just wouldn't waste my money doing that. I would buy Sunex. So, anyways, we're gonna end it on that note. Thank you everyone for joining me, and also check me out next Wednesday at 6:30 Pacific time p.m. I do this every week, and I will be here next week, and I won't be as tired next time. So, thank you AgTech for joining the chat, and thank you everyone for joining the chat. And I will see you guys next week, and probably on Friday. Have a good week and kick ass, and let's get it.